guys, but for us,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I know that, man, it's been cold all across the country the
Yeah.
last few weeks. Here in California, in Northern California, it's been a little rainy, but up in the mountains, up at Lake Tahoe, we've had some good snow. So of course that makes me happy skiing. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? We have Treva, Mark, Eric. How you guys doing? Julia, how's it going? Hey, Kenny, what's up? All right. Well, hey, thanks for jumping on here, everyone, to our Freedom Friday call. Today I have a special guest, I have Cindy Wadsworth. Cindy, how are you today?
We're good. We're having a snow day. It's
Yeah,
good.
awesome. Well, I'd like for you to share just a little bit about yourself, and then, boy, if you could just jump right into our content, back to basics, and get business now. Go ahead, Cindy.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, as my son would say, I'm kind of a dinosaur in the real estate business. I've been licensed since 1989, which was before the internet, before the MLS, before any of it. And Tom, how long have you been licensed?
45 years
Oh, for God's sakes, you're even before me.
before all
So,
of you were born.
yeah. So Tom can tell you that the MLS used to be in like a big phone book that you got one book per office. So been doing it for a long time. Rookie of the year, my first year in the business, worked for Remax in 2001. I ended up buying a Keller Williams franchise and helped them grow that for 20 years. Came over to EXP about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. But my passion, as long as I've been selling real estate, my true passion is coaching. So I have been a coach since 2005. I have coached hundreds of new agents into the business, as well as agents that just wanted to kind of break through their ceiling and get their business to the next level. So Tom asked me to come on and help you guys with how to get business now. Who could use some more business right now?
Woohoo. Oh, yeah.
So I told Tom, first of all, I want you guys to know I wrote a lot of notes because I am an off the chart eye and I will go down rabbit holes. So to keep me a D like Tom is, I have written myself notes and I will be following them. But I also told Tom that I do better with interaction. So as I'm talking, if you guys have questions, just put them in the chat. I have the chat box up and I can look at it and try to help you guys however I can. All right, so first thing I wanted to know is who do we have in the audience? If you can just put in the chat, like how long you've been in the business and what you're hoping to get out of today. Go.
Go ahead, pop in the chat. How long you been in the business? And what you'd like to get?
So I'm just trying to see, do we have a lot of newer agents? Do we have seasoned agents? Where are we?
Or you can even jump on and share. You can talk out loud.
Yeah, you can talk. We don't have that many people. You can just yell out too.
Yeah.
1 year in the business. Okay. 2 years, 10 years. So we do have some seasoned agents as well. So let me ask you guys a question. What is your job as a realtor? What do you think your job is as a realtor?
Serve others.
Okay.
Guide.
What's that?
Guide.
Okay. So, and when I am coaching agents, typically they tell me that their job is to sell houses. And honestly, your number one job is to consistently lead generate. Your number one job is to bring opportunities into your business. Yes, you are supposed to be taking care of your current business and your current clients. But if you are not consistent with continually to lead generate to bring opportunities in, you will be on a cash flow roller coaster. Anybody experience that cash flow roller coaster? Yep, where you got a lot of money and then it goes down and then you got to start over again. 88% of small business owners, and this isn't just realtors, but 88% of small business owners actually live paycheck to paycheck. That's pretty scary. That means they're one paycheck from being out of the business. So let me ask you, how many of you actually have a written business plan? Like you can pull it out and say, I have a written business plan. I see 2 people with their hands raised. So, or 3 people, okay. That's the first thing that I'm going to advise you guys to do, because if you do not have a written business plan on exactly what you need to be doing every day, every week, every month, that's like taking a road trip across country and without a GPS or without even like the old-fashioned roadmap. If you do not know what you need to do, you're going to be lost. So I'm going to say to you, that is one of my things that I do with every agent that comes into our organization. The first thing I do is sit down with them and do a business plan. If you guys do not have a written business plan and you'd like to jump on a call with me, I'd be happy to help you get one together. Take about 45 minutes to an hour, and it will help you out immensely. Okay. So the first thing that we look at when we do our business plan, after we figure out how many lead calls you need to make every day, we figure out, are you getting it from warm clients or from cold clients? So your warm business is everybody you have in your database right now. And January is an opportune time to reach out to your current database and just ask everyone in your database what their real estate plans are for 2024. Very easy question. Call them up, wish them a happy new year, and ask them, what are your real estate plans for 2024 or real estate goals for 2024? If they don't have any, ask them if they know anybody else who does. Statistics show that on average, every single person knows 265 people. So if you're talking to however many people you have in your database, multiply that by 265, because that's really how many people you could be getting referrals for. And obviously tell people that it doesn't just have to be in your local area. It can be anywhere, right? Anywhere in the world, because you can refer them to another agent in those areas. And then if you just sold them a house, because some people are saying, well, they just bought a house from me, I'm not going to call them up and ask them. Just tell them that you really enjoyed working with them and who else like them could benefit from your services, because you're complimenting them and you're also trying to add value to anybody that they know that could use your help. So cold business, when you go after warm business, is a lot quicker business because they know you, they trust you already. Cold business, you have to kind of create that relationship and build that trust. So the first thing that you should be doing when you are looking at cold business is developing your client avatar. Do you guys know what I mean when I say that? Creating your avatar. Who is your perfect target audience? Does anybody have a specific audience they work with right now? Specific client?
I do.
You want to share?
Yes. So my ideal client would be a seller who trusts me, who is easy to work with, and appreciates the fact that I travel a lot, I learn a lot to bring that knowledge back to them, and ideally, they love to play pickleball as well.
Oh, there you go. That was what I was getting to. The very last sentence that you just said, pickleball, because that's your community, right? We have a lot of agents in our office that play pickleball, and they get a lot of business from pickleball because they see those people several times a week, and that's where they get their business.
Yeah.
So now business, because that's what the topic of this thing is getting now business. Currently, 70% of homeowners in this country have interest rates below 4%. How many of them are looking to sell to get an interest rate of 6 to 7%? Probably not many. So what you need to find are the distressed sellers. You need to find people who have to sell instead of just would like to sell. So in the real estate business, we call our distressed sellers the Ds. And here are the Ds: death, probates, divorce, typically it can turn into 3 sales if you play your cards right, because they have to sell their primary house and each person needs to find a place to live. Default, any kind of financial distress or falling behind on their mortgage or their taxes. Diamonds, getting engaged and married. They're going to probably be looking for a house to buy together. Diapers, they are having a child or children and they're outgrowing their space. And diplomas, where their kids graduate and they now become empty nesters and the house is too big and they don't want to maintain it anymore. So has anybody used PropStream or a program like that? Okay. So PropStream is a program where you can look up a target audience and pull their information. We just did this with Julie, who's on the call. We just looked at, she decided that she wanted to work with people who were going to be looking for 55 plus homes. So we pulled an area. We said, give us everybody in this area who has been in their home for 30 years or more, who has more than $300,000 of equity in their homes, and are seniors. And they gave her a list of 500 people. So she has a very targeted audience that she can now make phone calls to. Actually, she's handwriting notes to them first and then making phone calls to them. You can, through PropStream, they will actually skip trace them too to give you the information, their phone numbers, emails and stuff, but it's kind of expensive. I think PropStream is like 10 cents a person. We have a guy with Fiverr who will skip trace all of our records for 4 cents a record, which actually is very affordable. So, and then once you get that list, you can now put them into your database and start calling them and staying in touch with them.
Do you mind sharing that person's information, the Fiverr guy? Because that's a really good deal.
Yeah, he's really good. Let me put
Thank
it in
you.
the chat here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. And he usually turns around the list within, I mean, typically hours, but sometimes a day. So other now business, people who have raised their hands for sale by owners and expireds. They've raised their hands to say that they are interested in selling their homes. You can find them for sale by owners on FSBO.com. You can find expireds in your MLS, just pull the list every day, or you can use a paid service. Mojo and RedX are the 2 services that we use to actually get the numbers to make phone calls to these people. I'm going to tell you, be different, because they have a ton of people calling them. And the way that you can set yourself apart is to actually door knock them. It may take a little bit longer. Well, not may, it will take a little bit longer, but door knocking right now is shown to be the most effective it has ever been, because I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but we are actually in a loneliness epidemic, legit loneliness epidemic, because people are working from home. They're not around other people. Technology is there to connect people, but it's not face to face. So when people are door knocking, they're actually getting better results because people are actually happy that a human being is actually talking to them. So here are the people to door knock for now business. As I said, for sale by owners, most agents, when they are calling for sale by, oh, somebody just said all my first business was door knocking FSBOs and expireds. There you go. Most agents are calling for sale by owners to get their listing. Be different. Always try to add value. When you go and knock on a for sale by owner's door, congratulate them on trying to sell their home themselves and ask if there is anything that you can do to help them, like give them a seller's disclosure that they need to fill out, or ask them if you can do an open house for them, because you can leverage the open house, but ask them if you can do an open house for them so they actually get real feedback instead of the feedback that the buyers are not going to tell them face to face. With expireds, this is something that my partner Pete, that Tom knows, told me that to say, because Pete is a Mike Ferry guy, so he's a dial for dollars guy. I'm not. So he said, with the expired script, ask them, just say to them that you saw that their home came off the market, and say, he was saying that most people who do prospect are either Mike Ferry or Bold people from KW. So they have the same script. And he found that when he was calling these people, they were actually saying the script to him. They knew the script better than he did. So he said he switched up the script, and he said, I'm curious, did you not get the price you were looking for or the service you expected from your agent? So it makes people tell you the reason that their home expired. Just listed, just solds, and it doesn't have to be your just listed, just solds. But when a home, it's actually better if it is, because when a home comes on the market, or when you're listing it, or when you just put it under contract, that's the best time to go around and door knock the neighborhood before they see it, in the general public, or the MLS, or on Zillow, or whatever, where they can find the information themselves. When you just list a home, you just put it, sign up the listing contract before you even put the sign in the yard, go around and knock the neighbors' doors and let them know that a home in their neighborhood is coming on the market, and who do they know that would like to move into the neighborhood so they can pick their own neighbor. Open houses. A lot of agents do open houses. They put the sign in the yard, they sit there for 2 hours, and that's it. You need to leverage your open houses. And if you don't have any listings, find other agents in the area that do have listings and ask them if you can sit the open house for them. When you do an open house, door knock the neighbors and invite them to a private neighborhood only open house an hour before the public open house. A lot of neighbors want to see what's going on, but they don't want to be like looky-loos. So if you invite them to a private open house before the general open house, it gives them value. And also the people that show up, statistics show that when a home is listed, within a month or two, 1 or 2 more homes in that neighborhood is going to come on the market. The people that take the time to come to that open house are probably your target people that are possibly thinking about selling their home. Also tell them, on average in our area, and you got to use your own statistics, but in our area, when we have an open house, we're still getting 40 to 50 people at each open house. And we used to be getting 15 to 20 offers. Now we get maybe 5 to 7 offers per house. So that's how many people are looking to move into that neighborhood. So tell them the statistics and say, obviously only one person's going to be able to get this open house. So who else do you know in the neighborhood that is thinking about moving? And then ask them what their plans are when they're possibly thinking about moving. The other thing that you can do with the multiple offer situation, when you have a buyer and you submit an offer on a property and you don't get it, take that agreement of sale, black out their information, but take that agreement of sale and walk around the neighborhood door knocking and showing them that you have a viable buyer who put an offer in on a house in their neighborhood that's willing to pay top dollar, because in our area, homes are still selling at about 103 to 104%. So they're still going over asking price. Tell them you have a buyer that lost out on a sale, and they are looking to move into the neighborhood. So again, are you thinking about selling, or who do you know that's thinking about selling? So the one thing that we found too, as you're door knocking, the other thing that you are trying to do is build your database, right? Because you always need to constantly be building your database, because people in your database will fall out. They'll move, they'll pass away, their best friend will get a license. So you need to continually be building your database. So when you're door knocking, say to them, as your local neighborhood expert, my job is to keep you updated on what is happening in the market. What is your best email address? And I'd be happy to include you in the future on those updates. And have a clipboard or an iPad or something that you're going to write their email address down right there. So it's expected that they're going to give it to you, and put them in your database. How many in our group actually use a database? Like really use their CRM? Because statistics show that it takes 15 to 17 follow-ups before you actually get a piece of business. Now, obviously, there's some that are going to be sooner than that, but 15 to 17 times. So you need to have a database and a good follow-up system. Most agents follow up at most 2 times, and it takes 15 to 17 times. So the things that we do for people in our database, we have every single person in our database either getting a market report if they own a home on a monthly basis, or a listing report if they don't own a home, they're a renter or first-time home buyers, and they get theirs on a daily or weekly basis. We send out a monthly newsletter with all the market stats. We usually do a value add in every newsletter, which highlights a local vendor to give them something, some kind of discount for a home service. And then we also put the happening events. We do a Matchmaker Monday every Monday, where we have a postcard go out to our entire database, email electronically, that either has a buyer or a seller looking for something. So we have a buyer looking for a first-time home buyer home with a fence for their dogs and within a certain area. And that's the thing that we get the most response from people. We put it on social media and we send it out through our database, and we get the most response from that because people are trying to fill that Matchmaker Monday. And every single person in our database has a next task attached to them. If you guys are using KV Core, you can do this very easily. You only have to do your entire database one time. And then every day you open up your database, it tells you exactly who you need to contact that day. Never close out a client file in your CRM without attaching a next task date to it. Anybody do farming here? No farming? So farming is one of the ways that I actually established my business, and I still do farm. It's a great thing to do to door knock a certain area if it's your hometown or whatever. You want to partner up with a local charity and door knock the neighborhood and tell them that you're a partner. You can even have the local charity, somebody from there with you, to door knock and say that you're going to be doing some kind of collection, food drive, hats for the homeless, or whatever it is that you're going to do, and tell them that they can either drop it off at your office if you have a physical office, or get a branded bag that you can leave with them and go back and pick it up. So every quarter you do this. So the first month of the quarter is the door knocking. The second month is actual collection, and the third month is a snail mail postcard to them, showing them the collection that you got and thanking them for participating. We do this a lot with client events as well every quarter, where we send out the first quarter, we send out a postcard saying what the event's going to be. Second month, we call through and talk to everybody to remind them and see if they're coming. And the third month is the event. And it just keeps going on a quarterly basis. We do a trivia contest to our farm too. We have a local town that we farm in, and we do some kind of trivia to the town, and people can enter it, and whoever wins the trivia contest gets a gift card to a local restaurant. I go and get the gift card, and then I do a video of the local restaurant to post on social media to give them exposure, as well as to show that we're having some fun in the community. So the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is creating your top 100 list of everything. Your top 100 sphere, your top 100 past clients, your top 100 on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you are doing agent attraction, your top 100 agents. It is so much to keep up with everybody. You want to narrow it down and just keep up with the people that you know are going to be the most likely to make a move, whether in real estate or in their office, And you just want to love on them constantly. It's so easy with social media now, Tom. How about it? We had no social media. It's so easy now to find out what their interests are because they blast it everywhere. Find out get in these people's heads and find out what their interests are and start sending them when you see an article that you made you think of them, or you see an event that's coming up. Just keep adding value to them. And the whole game is stuffing your funnel so it drips out at the other end.
Awesome. Wow. Oh my gosh, that's like drinking out of a fire hose. I love it. So who has a nugget or an aha that they'd like to share? We've only got a couple more minutes, so rapid fire. Jump on in. Don't be shy. Or a question. Go ahead. Who wants to go first?
The Matchmaker Monday. Do you mind if we replicate that? I thought that was great.
Absolutely not. Look, this whole thing is R&D. Rip off and duplicate. That's how I have grown my whole business. You find people that you like and it resonates with you, and then you just duplicate it.
Awesome.
Cindy, my connection cut out. Will you explain the Matchmaker Monday again?
So we send out every Monday, we send out through our database as well as on social media, Matchmaker Monday, where we either have a buyer who's looking for a specific home, or we have a seller. And most of our seller ones are people who are not on the market, but they would sell if they got the right price. So we just give a few little details. It's just a picture, an animated picture, whatever, with a few little details. Like if it's a young couple, put two stick people with a fur baby, a dog who wants a fenced yard in a certain area. And then we blast it out, and we get so much response from that. People tagging other people with homes in that area, or people saying, I have somebody who in that area who's looking to sell. It's probably our biggest thing that we get the most response from.
Thank you.
Thank you. One more question or nugget, anyone? Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much, Cindy. This was awesome. My nugget was top 100 everything, because I feel like I have so many big, huge, long lists of, clients, buyers, sellers, agents, on and on and on. I love it. Top 100 everything. That's cool. So, well, hey, thanks everyone. So I have an announcement. Our Freedom Fridays are going to be moved to Wednesdays. So we're going to have everyone in our organization at our Wednesday Atomic Habits meeting. It's 9 a.m. Pacific, 9 to 9:30. We had Glenn Sanford last week. We're always bringing value, talent to really help everyone make a difference. So this is actually the last Freedom Friday, but I'm always available if any of you have any questions, you want to reach out. Oh, by the way, Cindy, if anyone wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to reach out?
So I have two Instagram channels. One is my personal one, which is Cinwads. I'll just put it right in the chat. And then I have a I don't know, I can't put it in the chat. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. We have one, Achieve Real Estate Success, which we do most of our agent, all of our agent stuff in that. So if you want to follow us to get any kind of nuggets, probably the best way to reach us.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you all for jumping in here. Happy Friday. Now you've got your inspiration, time to put in a perspiration. Have a great weekend, and go Niners. Woohoo!
How about Eagles?
Oh, wow.
Or Giants for Pete.
Okay. See you guys later. Have a good weekend.
See
Thanks a lot.
ya.
Yeah. Bye now.